Hello, hello, welcome back. Sorry for the audio issues. I've been told they're fixed, so we're going to give it another run and see if it is indeed. But honestly, I think we should just start the game right away. We've kept the players waiting
right. We should,
in their
so
booth.
let's do that.
So we're going to go ahead and do that. The countdown has begun. And even though I couldn't hear you commentating during that last game, I'm going to assume that you talked about how GanZi got completely crushed in that last game.
All that I did was give you compliments. That's all that I did that whole game.
That is very nice of you. Just non-stop compliments.
Yep.
But it does look like down in the bottom left side, it is indeed going to be GanZi, and he is just not having the best of luck here in this tournament so far.
Oh, man. And then over here, the man having just so much fortune in this tournament, this is Millennium Stephano. He's already pretty much, I mean, he's one game away from being completely undefeated in his group, at least as far as match score goes. He did drop a single map.
Yeah, just one game. I mean, and that's completely
Violet,
fine, especially in a tournament setting. I mean, sometimes there's maps that you don't want to practice for. Sometimes there's maps that you just don't like. But that's what's great about tournaments is you have more than just one shot at doing it. And I love facts. I feel like it's like pop-up video. Did you ever watch that as a kid, man?
They're so much fun.
Back when MTV had music, which was a long, long time ago, it does say in PvT, GanZi prefers spending his gas on earlier upgrades for infantry rather than faster medevacs. Now, that is exactly what we saw in the last game where he got upgrades even though he had like 4 guys remaining. He's like, I'm going to go ahead and start my 2-2 right now. And that is something that's a good way to get back into a game where if you have a huge upgrade advantage, like 2-2 to 0-0, those Marines, they just seem to never die. And I think that's what he tries to rely on. Obviously, it didn't work out that last game, but that's kind of more of his play style.
Because if you're able to get to a spot where you've already got those upgrades, then any additional units that you make there are actually worth more than they were before the upgrades finished, right? So as long as you make your units worth more, then you don't need to worry too much about having a whole lot of them. Now, GanZi has gotten out here. He's already placed a barracks and followed it up with a second racks as well. That's a double. You're getting a double racks out there, man. Following up with a second 12 racks. Oh, dear. He is going to be putting on as much pressure as possible. Now, this is very similar to what he tried in game number 1 against Violet a little bit earlier in the group. Is Stephano going to have as much luck holding?
Now, the main difference here is that those racks aren't as close as they were in the first time. So what that means is if this attack doesn't do as much damage, it's going to hit a little bit later. But if it doesn't do as much damage, he can lift these off much more quickly to finish off that wall in. Now, part of what GanZi had in the last game where he did this was, I mean, not only did the attack not do damage, but he also had no way of walling in his ramp, so units were just kind of running rampant through his base. Now, so he did change it up a little bit, and this is a difficult spot to scout out. And Stephano also, I believe, just to triple check here, he did not drone scout already. So that means he has no idea about this because Overlords, while they still move quickly, they still are relatively slow in getting to the base.
Unfortunately, they aren't able to see absolutely everything on the map, right? They're faster. They can't see further.
Exactly. It does look like the the bunker rush is going to continue, or at least start here, as Stephano does spot it right now at the Overlord. The bunker, though, is about halfway completed. Does Stephano build a spine crawler? Yes, he does immediately. That is required in these situations, but he's chasing him down with the drones here.
Stephano has pulled off 12 of his drones to stop this. And now he's also got Zerglings following up. The SCV died. It was not able to finish off the bunker up there. So, the SCV has had to abandon the bunker and move out to the side. Now, Stephano's pretty much held this off. So this is going to once again put GanZi in a very awkward position following this up. Now, Stephano's a person that doesn't really make units that he doesn't need or can't really use. Now, there's 3 of these Marines out here, and they're actually being chased by 4 Zerglings right now and completely thwarting this assault. They're now following them back to exactly where this barracks is, and then it's looking like GanZi is actually going to be entirely found out because Stephano has seen everything.
I just got to say, this is not GanZi's tournament. He tried to do the same build twice. It got locked down without killing anything in both games, and he's been dropping all of his series so far. So, I mean, right now, Stephano's going to be in great shape. GanZi's expansion is delayed. He doesn't have any gas on the way, so there's no tech whatsoever. He's now having to lift this off, so his production is going to be halted here for a little bit. I can't imagine much of a better start for Stephano. And, Rob, you're mentioning that, you know, Stephano doesn't make extra units. And the fact that he only made like 4 to 6 initial Zerglings, I mean, that's huge. Right now, he is making more Lings here because, he's got a Baneling nest on the way. So he says, you know what, you got to cheese me, I'll cheese right back. And he is going to be going for a lot of Banelings here.
Now, this we can actually see right here down at the natural. GanZi has now been forced to lift off his racks. Oh, man. And actually, if those don't land, actually, is there going to be enough units out here? There's a few more Zerglings coming out as well. Oh, but he's losing losing that ground positioning that he would oh so love. Obviously, delaying those barracks for as long as possible would be highly favorable. But now we're going to see Stephano just set up for like a really big bust, because he's already been able to stay on that that single extractor for long enough that he'll have just enough banelings to crush through whatever supply depot or bunker gets thrown down there. But oh man, this could be free food for Stephano if those Marines stay a little too active.
Now I do want to say we're seeing an absolute opposite response here that we saw in the first time GanZi found himself in this situation, in that his opponent just made a buttload of drones. He made so many drones that he was way, way ahead, and he decided to lift it off. I think that was a complete accident here. But there, oh no, as if the wall-in wasn't solid enough already, and I feel like GanZi is going to have one sad plane ride here.
Well, that's unfortunate. And this is where we now see 5 banelings trade for 3 supply depots. And still though, GanZi, and GanZi is now forced to tap out. So Stephano taking a very quick 2-0
Very quick.
there.
I mean, both of those games ended up being relatively short. The first game was a little bit longer. We saw more than
it felt
just
like
minerals being mined by the Terran player in that game. So at least that one was a tad bit longer. But unfortunately for GanZi, I feel like, you know, I believe it was him in the interview, right, who was saying he felt tired. I wonder if that played into this at all, because sometimes
he was tired, but the girls are beautiful, so that made him feel good.
He's going to need those beautiful girls tonight, man, because he has had not a very good run here in this tournament. So he gets $500, right? So that's
something.
Poor guy. I feel terrible for him, but you know what? That's exactly what happens in tournaments, is if you have one off day, I mean, you're out. You're done. Well, you have to wait till the next big tournament.
We saw how brilliant GanZi could be when he makes it into that late game and is able to actually use his medevacs and be able to drop in different places simultaneously, because that's really one of the things that made him so popular in the beginning, was his ability to multitask. But if he ends up trying to finish the game in just a few minutes and that fails, he's never able to really reach that stride that he wants to hit so much.
All right, so the other stream, I believe, they're still rolling on through. So as soon as that match is over, we are going to be back here on the second stream, and I believe it's going to be Group B. Is that correct?
Group B will be coming up. So what's going to happen right now is that this stream is going to swap over to be a simulcast of exactly what's happening over on stream 1, so that you can catch the end of that, and then that's going to be followed by an interview with the winners that are going to make it out of this group, and then after that, more StarCraft 2 will be back on the stream. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching Red Bull Battlegrounds. I'm Rob Simpson.
I'm Husky. Don't go anywhere, because, hey, there's more games to be had, and you're going to be watching them in just a moment. So we'll be back very, very soon. Hope you guys enjoy it. And, of course, I'll see you guys next time.